Virtual reality promised us the next big leap in gaming, with immersive worlds, next-level social experiences, and a future where ordinary screens just couldn't cut it anymore. But what if that future is slipping away? Virtual reality gaming has had an extremely troubled life cycle, I guess? From starting off too expensive, to needing too much dedicated space to even handle it, to not having enough big games to actually draw anybody in, and then even with companies like Meta and PlayStation trying to keep it alive with their headsets, it just doesn't seem like anybody cares. And yeah, of course, Valve is coming out with the Steam frame, but that is a different kind of way of experiencing VR because it's trying to kind of just basically put a Steam machine on your face, which is awesome, and I'm really excited about it. But is it enough to keep virtual reality gaming alive? And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it. Let me explain. According to a news report from Games Chronicle, Meta has closed several studios, including Explosion Man Studio, Twisted Pixel, and Asgard Wrath's Sanzaru Games, who are behind Fly Cooper 4, if you don't remember. The New York Times reported on Monday that Meta was planning to cut around 10% of the employees in its Reality Labs division, which works on products including the metaverse. Reality Labs is also home to Oculus Studios, the division of Meta that runs its first-party game development studios. Andy Gentile, a designer at Twisted Pixel Games, posted on X that he had just lost his job as part of the closure. And here's the main thing from this, okay? A Meta spokesperson said, "We said last month that we were shifting some of our investment from our metaverse towards wearables. This is part of that effort, and we plan to reinvest the savings to support the growth of wearables this year." So what we're seeing happen literally right before our eyes is the shift from virtual reality to augmented reality. Meta glasses, those Ray-Bans that you can wear with the little things on them, cameras, so you can record what's going on in front of you, and kind of work as a slimmer version of the Apple headset, which I can't even think of what it's called. But it seems like that's the direction they're going. There's just not enough interest in virtual reality to keep it going right now. And it sucks because honestly, if you try virtual reality, some of the games are so unbelievably good. Like, I will never ever forget my experience with Resident Evil 7 in VR, with Resident Evil 4 in VR, with Resident Evil 8 in VR, Five Nights at Freddy's in VR. These are some of the scariest and most tense and most amazing experiences of video games I've ever had. Half-Life Alyx? Are you kidding me, dude? Literally the best virtual reality experience, the best virtual reality game, and an absolute 10 out of 10. I love that game from start to finish. Unreal how good it was. But where are the other games on that level? Where is the investment from first party, like PlayStation first party, into making games of that level? It doesn't exist. Horizon obviously wasn't that. It was a climbing game that was very basic that, I mean, it looked really nice, but that was kind of it. I have a PlayStation VR 2 right here. Other than turning it on to play Resident Evil 4 in VR, that's it. They don't have a system in place here to keep people actively engaged. Yeah, they've cut the price a few times because obviously the thing isn't selling, and Meta has done a good job with making their headset not be too expensive, and it seems like the Steam frame also won't be dangerously expensive that nobody's gonna buy it. But is it enough? It seems like to most people, it's not. People don't want to have this huge cumbersome thing that's on top of their face that they have to then have a dedicated space for, that you need to make sure that there's nothing around you because you'll bang into it while you're swinging around wildly. It's not a easy thing to do. Even times when I think about playing VR, it just feels like such a, I have to move my chair out of the way. I have to make sure that I got this thing. It just feels so cumbersome. And then for a lot of people also too, you just never get your VR legs and you feel sick. I have a friend who I've wanted to try VR so many times because I want him to play Half-Life Alyx and I want him to play Resident Evil. And every time he plays for literally more than 5 minutes, he gets a burning migraine and he wants to die. How do you reach those people? You can't. And then also, what are you gonna reach them with? VR chat? It's sad to say, but VR never took off because there wasn't enough people invested in the first place, because it was too expensive and because they just couldn't figure out how to get around those base systems and stuff. And then even when MetaQuest made it simpler, it was like, what are you gonna do? Play Beat Saber forever? No. People want those experiences that are like Half-Life Alyx. Sure, you got Asgard's Wrath too, but it didn't sell enough, clearly, because they're closing the studio. PlayStation VR 2, it's like it came and went in a flash, dude. PlayStation gave up on that quick with their first parties. Is anybody developing a first party game for it? No, they shut down studios. Meta shut down plenty of studios. According to the New York Times report, Meta Chief Technology Officer Andrew Bosworth, who oversees Reality Labs, called for a meeting on Wednesday, urging staff to attend in person and calling it the most important meeting of the year. It's been reported that Meta plans to reduce its focus on VR devices and the metaverse as it pivots to focus on other divisions such as AI research and its wearable division, which includes smart glasses and wristband computing devices. AI research is the main focus here because obviously they've already invested in their their augmented reality, and they're going to keep pushing forward with that as it incorporates AI, because who doesn't want to talk to Siri on your face the whole time, even though you could literally already do that with your phone, except now you'll be able to see it in front of your face. Lift your phone up to your face. I mean, like, whatever. Besides the fact. The point is that this is dying almost essentially because it's going to make them a lot more money to focus on AI than it is on VR. Everybody's crazy about AI right now. The money's in AI. There's no money in VR. It's very obvious. It's been very obvious for a long time, and it sucks. I think if you have the ability to get a VR headset and try the select few games that are incredible and will honestly leave a lasting impact on your gaming life, you're gonna have a fantastic time. But there's just not that much coming. Even Half-Life, the rumored Half-Life 3, it's not a VR game because probably there wasn't enough interest in Half-Life Alyx. And even Valve, with their basically infinite money source, is like, why waste the development time on another VR game that not a lot of people are gonna play? I think the Steam frame will do decently well, but it's also a very niche product. And, you know, I'm gonna get it, and there are people who are gonna get it, obviously. But is it enough to reinvigorate VR games? I honestly don't think so. I think more people are gonna use the Steam frame as like, I get to sit back and pretend I'm playing on a 5,000 inch screen or whatever, that kind of thing, as opposed to let's go VR crazy. It sucks, but this literally might be the end of VR.